Hello and welcome to Pulse of Culture. I'm Diana Skaya. And we begin today's episode on the red carpet thanks to a truly Hollywood-style premiere in Warsaw. Now, a few days ago, the Warsaw Jewish Film Festival opened with director Jesse Eisenberg's film, A Real Pain, which was filmed right here in Poland. And of course, both American and Polish filmmakers graced the carpet. Our very own Klaudia Czerwinska had a chance to talk to the film's creator himself.
Hey, Benji, I just got to the airport. I really hope you left already.
Jesse Eisenberg calls this film a love letter to Poland. The American actor, director, and producer of Polish descent emphasizes his commitment to researching the history of his ancestors.
So thank you so much for taking the time to talk to me about your production. In one of the previous interviews, you mentioned that you made A Real Pain out of your love for Poland. How was Poland being talked about in your childhood home for you to develop just sort of an intimate relationship with a place that you haven't been raised in?
Thank you so much for your nice question. And I really did have an unusual introduction to Poland. My introduction to Poland was through my aunt, Doris. She is kind of a character in this movie. The characters are constantly talking about their grandma Dory. It's based on my aunt Doris, who was born and raised in Krasnostaw. Her little brother is my grandfather. What she would tell me about Poland, and I spent years with her. She was like my mentor for 20 years. For years, she would tell me about this amazing relationship she had with Poles. My family's Jewish, and so they were both Polish citizens, but also a little bit other because they were Jews, and so they had a kind of different relationship to the country. But my aunt would always tell me that they had just the best relationship with Polish people up until the war, and so I always heard great things about Poland. For a lot of American Jews, they hear the opposite. They hear, oh, the Poles didn't like us or something, but that's just not my experience at all. And so I wanted to come here and see for myself what the experience is like here, and to see where they're from, to see the house my family lived in for hundreds of years, and to kind of have my own relationship. And what I found was just this incredible, warm, welcoming country. I've had just the greatest experiences here. I've been able to make a movie with 150 Polish people who are helping me to tell my family's story, and I just feel so honored that I have been welcomed in this great country. To me, this was a dream come true to film here. First of all, the greatest filmmakers in the world are coming from Poland, and they're coming from Łódź. And to me, we just had like the greatest crew. I mean, every day, my producers and my American producers, that is, would just be astonished by the work that we were able to do. Every member of our crew, and we had 150 people, every person who worked on the crew was a real artist. They were in film because they wanted to be in the arts. They weren't in film because they wanted to, be on a cool movie set. They were artists, and it was just amazing, from everything, from our props and costumes, from the people painting the sets.
I think it really shows in the production.
Thank you. I do too. We really just had an unbelievable group of people, and if I could have a crew this great for the rest of my life, I will be so lucky.
I really needed this man. I know that it's tough for you to leave your boy.
The film tells the story of two contrasting cousins, David and Benji, who, after the death of their beloved grandmother, Dory, decide to explore Poland, the country where she was born. During their journey, old tensions reignite, linked to a difficult family history.
The movie is about these two cousins who are trying to reconnect to what they had in their childhood. These two cousins were like, best friends when they were 7 years old, 8 years old. And now that they're 40, their lives have changed so much. And so in the movie, they're trying to kind of reconnect to their history, but also they're on this tour trying to connect to their family's history. And both things are not going well. On an interpersonal level between them, they're struggling to find that connection that they once had. Sometimes they find it, sometimes they miss. In the kind of family history, they're trying to connect to where their family is from, and sometimes it connects. Sometimes, they feel connected, and other times, like when they go to visit the house in Krasnostaw that the family is from, they don't feel the connection. Something is missing. They see the building that their family lived in, which is the actual building my family lived in. and something is
Which
off.
is splendid to know that
Yeah.
you can go full circle and actually find yourself in that very place.
It was
while
so
filming.
surprising that we were able to actually film in the house my family lived in, 80 years ago.
Especially considering the war destruction. I mean, not all of the houses managed to survive the war. So.
Exactly. In fact, my Aunt Doris, who lived here during World War I, she said she would look out the windows and see airplanes flying over Krasnostav in World War I. And it's amazing that, the town has, survived in the way that it has.
Survived.
Yeah.
Just a final question. I know that you received an honorary citizenship in Krasnostav.
Yeah.
Congratulations. And I know that you're in the process of getting the Polish citizenship. How does it feel to know that soon enough you will have another place to call home officially?
Well, yeah, I'm so honored that Poland has granted me this great honor of citizenship. The way I think about it is this. My family lived in Poland for hundreds of years. They lived in New York for about 80 years. And it's so strange to me that my family never talked about Poland. My parents and my dad, would never talk about Poland. And yet our lives in New York has been a blip. And our lives in Poland have been quite a long experience. And so for me, it feels like very natural that I should try to connect back to where we came from. It feels unnatural to not do that. It feels unnatural to not talk about it or not think about it. So I really feel this I feel like in some ways my family has come full circle through my citizenship in a way that is really heartening for me.
Alongside Eisenberg on the Warsaw red carpet was his co-star, the award-winning Kieran Culkin, and Jennifer Grey, best known for her role in Dirty Dancing. The film, which had its world premiere in January at the Sundance Festival, has been showing in Polish cinemas since Friday, November 8th.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
For this conversation.
Great to meet you. Thank you.
Pleasure to meet you.
The 6th International Festival of Music from Central and Eastern Europe, the Euphonie, is now underway, marking one of the region's most significant musical events. Now, this year's program presents a vibrant dialogue between tradition and innovation, really showcasing the evolving fusion of musical ideas over the centuries. Now, concerts are being held in various locations across Poland.
Euphonia. In ancient Greek, it means beautiful sounds, harmony, which artists from various fields have sought for centuries. A colorful journey through the music of Central and Eastern Europe under the banner of Euphonia began in Kraków on November 2nd with Seven Gates of Jerusalem, a performance of the monumental Seventh Symphony by the world-renowned Polish composer Krzysztof Penderecki.
W Dębicy w grudniu.
We will conclude the festival with the Seven Gates of Jerusalem in December in Dębica, a town where this composition has never been heard, but it was composed by one of its most famous residents, Penderecki. But we will also listen to altar phonies, in which we'll hear illuminations performed by Polish jazz band Skalpel, Gordziev Ensemble, and the awakening of the American tradition. We'll also hear Dobrawa Czocher, Polish conductor.
Suity wiolonczelowe Bacha.
The symbolic official opening of the festival will take place on November 15th, featuring the world-famous mezzo-soprano Alina Garancha, who will make her debut at the National Opera. This will be her first performance in Warsaw. Other stars of the world and Polish music scene have also accepted invitations to participate in the festival.
The Pax Lilies in the Garden of History, under the title, an international exhibition was opened on Tuesday at the Palace of the Grand Dukes in Lithuania in Vilnius, showcasing about 300 exhibits from Lithuania, Poland, and Ukraine, telling the story of the Pak family, one of the most prominent noble families of the Grand Duchy of Lithuania.
The Patses, Lilies in the Garden of History. This exhibition tells the story of the Pats family with 300 exhibits from Lithuania, Poland, and Ukraine, highlighting one of the most distinguished noble families of the Grand Duchy of Lithuania.
We tell their story as if they were flowers blooming in the garden of history. Indeed, the Pak family was one of the most important noble houses, especially in the 17th century.
This exhibition, with its scale, could put to shame those who knew the Patzes only from the quote, "A Patz is worth a palace." This critical statement is better replaced with the words of Polish poet Adam Mickiewicz. Equal was their agility, equal was their work. Worthy is the palace of the Patz, and worthy the Patz of the palace.
The Paks are a mysterious family in both Lithuania and Poland, as the family became extinct and is rarely spoken of. They don't appear in the media. It was a lot of hard work, but also a mission to pay tribute to this family.
At the Vilnius exhibition, paintings, drawings, prints, textiles, seals, documents, photographs, weapons, and armor came from nearly 50 institutions and private collections from Lithuania, Poland, and Ukraine. Relatively few portraits of the Patzes exist today. Some were stolen and are now hidden in Russia. Yet what is truly breathtaking are the grand architectural monuments created by the Patzes, the remarkable sacred goldsmith works displayed at the exhibition, brilliant liturgical vestments, impressive heraldic tapestries, and valuable paintings.
Throughout his career, Pablo Picasso created around 2,400 prints, which can be seen as a kind of personal diary, shedding light on a lesser-known side of the Spanish artist. Now, these works are now shown as part of Picasso the Graphic Works, a new exhibition at the British Museum. Now, about 100 prints will be on display at the prestigious London Museum until March 30, 2025.
Pablo Picasso, a Malaga-born artist, most famous for his role in the Cubist movement. The exhibition shows Picasso's life through his art, including his complicated relationships with women and work with printers and publishers. It covers his entire career, highlighting how he used different printmaking techniques.
He always included elements of his own life in his work, so we do learn a lot about his life through his prints. We see the people who meant a lot to him. We see his wives and his lovers throughout the exhibition. We see a reflection of his emotions, his experiences, the artists who inspired him. So we learn a lot about Picasso through his art, and particularly, I think, through his prints.
The exhibition, entitled Picasso Printmaker, includes prints from early 1900s, before and after Picasso's famous painting La Demoiselle d'Avignon from 1907. It also looks at his focus on lithography and linocut printing after World War II and how moving to the south of France changed his lifestyle and art.
He often made prints in series or in groups, or he would make a variation of an image, and it really allowed him to really deeply explore an idea, and I think that was perhaps something he couldn't do necessarily as quickly in painting. He liked the fact that he could work quickly and he could keep moving and keep changing and exploring.
The British Museum has by far the UK's largest and most representative collection of Picasso's prints, and those put on display can be viewed until March 30th.
World-renowned actress Cate Blanchett takes on 13 roles in Manifesto, a video installation by Julian Rosfeld, which will be on display for 3 months in Toruń, Poland. Now, Blanchett masterfully embodies diverse characters, from a punk singer to a housewife, scientist, and homeless man, while reciting excerpts from influential 20th century manifestos. Now, the installation will be part of the Energia Camera Image Festival in Toruń, beginning on November 16th. And that's all for this edition of Pulse of Culture. I'm Diana Skaya. Thanks for watching.